for tuning into the Boardroom, where we highlight important updates, discussions, and decisions from each monthly Atlanta Public Schools board meeting. I am Sharice Darby, and this is an inside view of the Boardroom from the November 11th meeting. Chief Financial Officer Chuck Burbridge presented the financial forecast before the board at the November 11th meeting. According to Burbridge, the revenue and expenditure estimates for November remain the same. The district is still monitoring revenues, but revenues are coming in as expected.
We have not changed the estimates from the original forecast, so there's no change from what we said last month. As we discussed, basically July revenues and expenditures get accrued back into the prior fiscal year. So we're looking really at the August and September revenue and expenditure experience. Those are the materials that are provided in the backup that's part of the board meeting. I've also looked at October's experience since this board meeting was delayed a month, and basically say that there's nothing going on in revenue and expenditure that would lead us to worry that we're going to be out of whack like in other years we have been. Revenues are coming in pretty much as we've expected. Obviously, we got a little concerned about E-rate when there was a little pause in the E-rate work, but we have begun receiving E-rate reimbursements again. So we're still monitoring revenue, but there's nothing that's causing us to think that our revenue is going to fall short of our projections. Similarly, on expenditures, through the expenditures that we have, the budget seems to be coming in at pretty much as expected, certainly within a manageable tolerances. We're not seeing a large unexpected variance in headcounts or payrolls. As you know, in previous years, we have seen those fairly immediately when they are off track, and we're not seeing anything like that in our expenditures. So it looks like this budget is holding up, and so as a result, we're not changing the forecast for revenue or expenditures.
Atlanta Public Schools faculty and staff received some good news at November's board meeting. At the November 11th meeting, the Atlanta Board of Education voted to abolish a teacher furlough day that was scheduled for January 6th. This day will now serve as a professional development day. Board members said they wanted to restore staff pay and improve morale by eliminating one of the 4 furlough days. This will cost the district approximately $1.5 million. The Atlanta Board of Education also voted to form a task force to decide what to do about the old building that was once Martin Luther King Jr.'s elementary school. The group will evaluate options for the future of David T. Howard Building, which has been closed since 1976. Parents have said they're concerned that the building, located in the city's Old Fourth Ward neighborhood, could be demolished. Policy KG has been revised to update the language and clarify the manner in which Atlanta Public Schools allows outside groups to use school and administrative facilities. The board requested a review of this policy at its meeting on September 9th, 2013. The board accepted the revision of Policy KG for first reading at the October 7th meeting and voted to approve the revision at the November 11th meeting. Additionally, Board Policy KG states that all requests for use of school facilities for a period longer than 1 week shall be referred to the Board of Education for approval. The board recently approved a list of permits that were submitted for ratification and/or approval consistent with the Policy KG. Policy JGF has been revised to reflect new legal requirements that will go into effect in January 2014. Following the 2013 session of the General Assembly, the Return to Play Act became law and requires that local boards of education adopt a policy regarding concussion management for youth athletes. Policy JGF Student Safety has been revised to meet the requirements of this new law, and the Atlanta Public Schools Athletics Department has already incorporated best practices in concussion management and return to play procedures for injured athletes into its manuals, training for coaches, and programs for students.
Mr. Biggs, I had a question.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I know that whatever it is, if it has to do with our students, you are taking good care of them.
Yes, ma'am, we are.
I have no doubt about that. I just wanted to know, though, if you could explain a little bit to us about the kids that have the concussions.
Yes, ma'am.
Concussions. You know, what are your steps? What have you all enhanced there? I know that you have medical doctors and others on.
Yes, ma'am.
But is it increasing them?
Yes,
How long do they have to stay out in the event that this?
We have found that our concussions have gone down. Through our partnership with Atlanta Medical Center, we have placed our football players, and again, concussions is not just related to football. It can be any sport. Child falls down, basketball court. Just to give you a statistic, the second leading cause of a concussion is soccer and heading the ball. So there's a lot of things, there's a lot of variables there. But I want to give you a little bit of what we've done. First of all of our coaches and all of our sports have to go through the National Federation of High School training. And that's done by video that's on the National Federation of High Schools website. The athletic directors at the schools have to sign off that their coaches have gone through that. If they haven't gone through that, they're not paid their supplement. So they have to go through that. That video, I've gone through it myself. My staff has gone through it. Our stadium managers have gone through it. Everyone has gone through it that is involved with seeing students. But we also know that most concussions happen at the practice level. They don't happen maybe during a ball game or whatever. So the guardian caps can't be worn during ball games. But they've gone through that training. So we put them through that training. And again, in every sport, kid falls on a basketball floor, hits his head, possibility of concussion. I mean, again, there's a lot of opportunities. If the student athlete shows symptoms of a concussion, which there are many. I mean, I could be here for an hour describing all the different symptoms that they show, whether it's slurred speech, whether they can't maneuver properly, whether they're stumbling, whether they're dizzy, whatever that may be. Anytime that a student athlete shows symptoms, before they can come back and be cleared to participate, they must have a doctor's release. They must be seen by a doctor. And that is where our partnership with the Atlanta Medical Center and the Morehouse School of Medicine comes into play, because we have access to both staffs almost immediately.
The board accepted the revision of policy JGF for first reading. On May 6, 2013, the Atlanta Board of Education passed a resolution encouraging the exploration of a public-private collaborative K-8 pilot program at Centennial Place Elementary. Over the past few months, Atlanta Public Schools Office of Innovation staff and our external partner, Integral New Schools Atlanta, have worked closely together with Centennial Place staff, parents, community members, and other stakeholders, developing a K-8 plan for Centennial Place. The goal of this plan is to give the school greater flexibility, higher levels of accountability, and deeper relationships with external partners, targeting and supporting the school's STEAM focus. The school will open with 585 students in grades K-6 and add one grade each year until reaching full capacity in year 3 with 775 students in grades K-8. The current Centennial Place building will be expanded to serve these additional students. A conversion charter school model was chosen for this pilot, as this model gives the school broad flexibility and sets aggressive performance targets within a site-based management model. Centennial Place will be governed by a local board constituted of members representing Atlanta Public Schools and the Integral Group and other key strategic community and business partners. Several community meetings have been held to gather community input on this project. As required by law, Centennial Place parents and school staff participated in a secret ballot with 2 weeks' notice, and the majority support the conversion plan. The school has proposed several innovative measures, including the creation of enhanced career pathways for teachers, numerous hands-on learning experiences for students, and the creation of data days embedded in the school calendar, allowing decision-making to occur immediately following data collection periods. The superintendent recommended that the Atlanta Board of Education approve the conversion charter petition for Centennial Place Elementary School, but after lengthy discussion, the vote was delayed until a later meeting. Centennial Place's teachers and parents had originally approved slightly different versions of the school's petition to convert to a charter school, but according to Bill Prescott, interim general counsel for APS, state law requires both teachers and parents to vote on the same petition. The district will schedule a new vote for Centennial Place's parents. In its 2013 session, the Georgia State Legislature passed House Bill 283, allowing enrollment preference to be given to children who matriculate from a pre-kindergarten program, which is associated with a named school. Drew Charter School is requesting to amend its charter to allow students in the Cox Pre-K program located at Drew Charter School and pre-K students attending the East Lake Sheltering Arms Early Education and Family Center to receive priority kindergarten admission into the Drew Charter School kindergarten program. This proposed change is aligned with Drew Charter School's mission to serve as a cradle-to-college pipeline and will allow the school to continue serving children who attend the pre-K program at the charter school. The change will also allow teachers to more intentionally link pre-K to kindergarten instruction and reduce transitions for students moving from pre-K to kindergarten. This proposed change will not change the school's planned enrollment numbers in any grades and does not impact Drew's budget. Admission to the prioritized pre-K program mirrors the priorities currently used for students enrolling in Drew's kindergarten program. The Atlanta Board of Education accepted the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the proposed amendment to Drew Charter School's enrollment priorities to include children graduating from pre-K programs associated with the charter school. At the November 11th board meeting, the Board of Education discussed the need to transfer funds for the Atlanta Board of Education elections and superintendent search. The board voted to authorize the superintendent to transfer funds between divisions in the general fund in order to fund the Atlanta Board of Education elections and superintendent search. The estimated cost is $600,000. On July 11, 2011, the Atlanta Board of Education approved the Latin Academy Charter School. On March 5, 2012, the Atlanta Board of Education approved Latin Academy Charter to lease the Rosalie Wright Elementary School. And on July 9, 2012, the Atlanta Board of Education approved Latin Academy Charter to lease Anderson Park Elementary School. Due to the amount of repair work required to maintain the Anderson Park Elementary School facility, the Latin Academy Charter is requesting to transfer the Anderson Park lease agreement with an option to purchase to the former Capitol View Elementary School, located at 1442 Metropolitan Parkway, for the operation of the charter school. The terms of the current lease will remain the same. Pursuant to the state law, no lease payments may be charged to charter schools. The lessee will be responsible for all utilities, maintenance, capital improvements, operating expenses, and insurance requirements for the facility. The lessee will have the option to purchase the property at any time during the lease term with a 120-day written notice to exercise the purchase option. Latin Academy Charter has submitted letters of support from the local NPU. The Atlanta Board of Education voted 6-2 at the November 11th meeting to transfer Latin Academy's lease from the former Anderson Park Elementary School to the former Capitol View Elementary School. Proposals for construction management services have been submitted for the Bunch Middle School additions and modifications project. At the November 11th meeting, the board voted to award the construction management at-risk contract to J.E. Dunn Construction Company for a guaranteed maximum price not to exceed $29.9 million for total construction of this project. Community partners, local personalities, and APS leaders recently kept a big secret. On October 29th, they surprised 10 outstanding APS educators with grants from the Atlanta Families Awards for Excellence in Education. Participating in the surprise parties at schools across the city were students and board members, including Chair Ruben McDaniel, Vice Chair Byron Amos, Cicely Harsh-Kane, and Nancy Meister. Superintendent Errol Davis, Associate Superintendent Steve Smith, and Deputy Superintendent Karen Walden also joined the unexpected celebrations, complete with oversized Publishers Clearinghouse-style checks and balloons. Each educator won $7,500 from local philanthropic families. The award funds the educator's innovative academic project, professional development, and a personal stipend. The 2013 winners will be honored at the 8th Annual Atlanta Families Awards for Excellence in Education at the Carter Center.
Hi, Ms. Petrella. Hi, how are you? Hi, guys. I'm Nancy Meister with the Atlanta.
A normal yet regular day of instruction quickly turned to a surprise and then a celebration for this Garden Hills Elementary educator, Kelly Petrello. Her project advocates a more tech-savvy environment for her students.
My name's Nancy Meister, and I'm with the Atlanta Board of Education. And on behalf of the Atlanta Families, everybody come on in. We want to present you.
Confused right now. I'm, overwhelmed. This is just so amazing. I'm very excited for the kids. I really just can't wait to tell the kids what this is all about and how this is really going to change the classroom for the rest of the year. So just very excited and grateful. The project is to implement a digital citizen, so to have iPads and computers in the classroom so that when the kids are presenting, they can present in a video and audio manner, and then upload those to the internet, and so that they could be used for future classrooms as well. So to teach the students teaching students.
2013 winners of the Atlanta Families Awards for Excellence in Education include Jennifer Hall at Brown Middle School, Corindise Hardy at Frederick Douglass High School, Dwight Ho-Song at Kip Ways Academy, Jenny Lockwood at Springdale Park Elementary School, Kelly Petrello at Garden Hills Elementary School, Allison Shelton at Centennial Place Elementary School, Tiffany Stembridge Taylor at Booker T. Washington High School, Amber Stewart at Kip Strive Academy and Kip Vision Academy, Brianne Turgeon at Springdale Park Elementary School, and Hannah Yo at Charles L. Gideons Elementary School. Congratulations. In January, after the holiday break, students and staff are expected to move into their newly renovated campus at Maynard Holbrook Jackson High School. The campus is undergoing a $48.3 million renovation that will make Jackson High School a gem of its community. In advance of the move-in date, the community of Jackson recently held a topping out ceremony. Attendees signed 2 of the final construction beams that will be permanently erected at the top of one of the new buildings on campus. District 1 Representative Brenda Muhammad and Superintendent Earl Davis hosted the ceremony. Ms. Valerie Jackson and other family members of the late Mayor Maynard Jackson, students and staff of Jackson High School, board members Cecily Harskine, Board Chair Ruben McDaniel, Nancy Meister, and other elected officials were also in attendance. Stakeholders are given an opportunity to speak publicly to the board each month at the community meeting. Let's take a brief look at a few of the night's public comments.
This evening, I wanted to remind you all that by serving as a member of this board, you are a steward of the finances, curriculum, and facilities of the students in the Atlanta public school system. Your job is not to ensure your own future in Atlanta politics or to fulfill your own agenda. And if you are at all in tune with your own spirit and soul, you know that you should always work to guarantee that every child in the school system shares equally in whatever progress and possibilities that a student in the Atlanta public school system has to offer. However, everyone in this room, whether they admit it or not, recognizes that to date this board has not been equitable in its treatment of the students that it has been chosen to serve. Mr. Davis, your last communication with parents to parents with regard to the status of the mold epidemic at Washington High School is appreciated. However, in my opinion, it is also missing a key component. While you were busy wasting time drawing lines in the sand and allowing the mold problem at Washington to get so out of hand that a building full of occupied classrooms had to be closed, children and teachers continued to become ill.
I am here today in support of the Centennial Place Elementary Conversion Charter vote. I stand representing a community who has worked incredibly hard to build a strong framework for academic success for our students. It has passed the necessary parent and teacher votes. We ask you to join us in believing in our students and what they can do. Earlier today, the board questioned whether you needed to move forward with the conversion charter vote for the Centennial Place. There were concerns about the process and the precedent within the district for becoming the first system conversion charter. There were questions about whether we really needed to do something different at Centennial. I will address those. This is the first conversion charter within APS and obviously the first undertaken within our community. We sought advice from several different areas, including the state DOE, around every aspect of this conversion, including voting procedures. Our parents approved this by a 96% margin and were made aware of any changes that were put in place to address teacher concerns. No parents brought any objection to the process or asked for a second vote. If the only sticking point is holding a second parent vote, then I ask you to approve the petition with the provision to hold the second vote. Then we will not have to come before you again. This will set a precedent as the first conversion charter. It will also set a precedent to do what every candidate at every forum said they wanted to do, put more decision-making into the hands of the school.
Board members, my name is Joe Alcock, and I'm here tonight to advocate for leadership in the conversion of the K-8, tumor to K-8 program. For over 2 decades, neighbors in Kirkwood and Eastlake have been redefining their neighborhood. In 2 decades, the City of Atlanta, Georgia Department of Transportation, developers like Sembler and many other large developers have reinvested in the retail, business, and residential places of our neighborhood. Atlanta Youth Soccer Association, Park Pride, Trust for Public Land, Eastside Trolley Path, Trees Atlanta have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars and numerous community service hours. We are redefining ourselves as a walkable community full of houses, businesses, recreation, and park areas. At the same time, APS has closed 3 of our schools, threatened to close a 4th, converted our high school to a alternative high school, and have left us with many places to wonder where our kids are going, and confusion and fear on a lot of parents' parts. Recently, I read the Council of Education Facility Planners International claims that the benefits of walkable neighborhood schools are numerous. Among the benefits concluded in this pretty hefty report that you can find online includes diversity of students, because they can live in apartments, houses, and walk to a central community school. Health, by walking, you are exercising daily and you become aware of your environment. Strong parent bonds, walking with other parents to school and children to school, you develop an understanding of what's happening in your child's community.
Board members, good evening. Just wanted to say that it is truly true that politics are thick in Atlanta Public Schools. I just want to ask that we stop making decisions based on politics and we make decisions based on children, not who's loudest, not who rallies, but what's best for all children in Atlanta Public Schools. Either we're going to be a school system or we're going to be a system of schools. We have to decide. But, you know, if we're talking about charter schools versus traditional school, and I've heard a lot of the conversation that you all have had today, and it's very interesting that the board members didn't seem to be informed enough to make an informed decision. And so it does concern me of the direction that we're going into. The politics have given us what we've gotten, and I think that it's time that we make a difference. We're going to have, you know, possibly a brand new board, brand new superintendent, but what we won't have are brand new children and brand new parents. And so what we ask that you continue to listen to us, take us into consideration, as we are the #1 stakeholders in Atlanta Public Schools. Your job is to listen to what we want and then to collaborate together and see how we can best do that. And so I hope that we will always continue to look at what is best for all children in Atlanta Public Schools. And if we're talking about those K-8 possibilities, I just want to say, please consider Beecher Hills Elementary School and Deerwood Academy Elementary School, because they're the only 2 schools south of downtown that are IB schools that have no IB feeder pattern whatsoever for those children to go to. So as we think about opportunities for schools, and since we're becoming a system of schools and not a school system, that we need to look at every neighborhood individually and see what the needs are for that particular neighborhood. Politics cannot run Atlanta Public Schools. We must work together on behalf of our children.
Good evening. On behalf of the villages of Eastlake, and Kirkwood, we stand before you requesting the implementation of K-8 at Toomer Elementary School for the 2014-15 school year. This is the 7th month we have been before the board on this issue. The Centennial proposal has been vetted adequately by APS, and you've had adequate time to vet the Toomer proposal as well. As Centennial, over the last 7 months, we've had numerous community input meetings that resulted in the initial proposal. APS has held 2 community input meetings with positive and strong support to move forward. The PTA at Toomer has met twice with its teachers since the October board meeting to discuss the possibility of K-8, the configuration at the school. This has started the process of those teachers viewing the 5th graders as potential 6th graders and laying the foundation to implement this K-8 school next year. The retention right now at Toomer, we are losing 35% of our students each year, which is staggering. This is not just in our 5th grade, it's across all grades. We are tasked with starting over each year and trying to have academic achievement. Through the neighborhood charter school example, they showed by implementing a K-8 school, they increased the retention in the lower grades, and furthermore, they increased parental involvement. The timing of this is critical. Right now, we're in open houses at private schools across Atlanta with applications due in the near future, along with the applications for charter schools. These 2 events coincide with the decisions of parents selling or finding new rental housing within the city of Atlanta or moving out into the suburbs or Decatur, which numerous parents have done.
And these are CPE babies, and I'm a parent of CPE, and I'm here to speak on their behalf. Because of CPE, this child right here was known to get kicked out of school at another APS I will not name. My baby came from that school to CPE, straight A's. This is a Decatur child. He's been at Centennial for 2 weeks. He has gotten kicked out of DeKalb County schools, preschools, come home, all hundreds, straight fives. This baby here couldn't barely speak. She was tongue twisted, couldn't read. Now she's reading on her level, 1st grade, thanks to CPE. And I'm asking you, don't worry about us. This is what you need to worry about. And that's what we're asking. Thank you for your time.
Be sure to tune in each month for information regarding the Atlanta Board of Education and important agenda items from monthly board meetings. The next board meeting will be held on December 2nd, 2013 at the Center for Learning and Leadership, located at 130 Trinity Avenue Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia 30303. Stakeholders who would like to provide public comments during the monthly Committee of the Whole meeting should contact the board office at least 1 hour prior to the scheduled start time of the Committee of the Whole meeting by calling 404-802-2200. And stakeholders wishing to address the board during the community meeting must register in person at the sign-in table from 5 o'clock p.m. to 5:50 p.m. on the day of the community meeting. Community members must list their names and the agenda item or topic they wish to address, and they will be given up to 2 minutes to address the board. Thank you for tuning in. At APS, we are renewing our commitment to you.